I'll be taking you through the introduction, as I say, PDPC mission and vision. I'll touch on the concept of personal data protection. I'll share with you the challenges and solutions to those challenges, but I'll talk a bit also on the consent management, which I know we will be practicing a lot. The medical sector, I know your consent, protection, and everything, but we'll talk about the concepts generally of personal data protection. But the prospective challenges, you are going to become doctors. There are some areas I will talk about how you will expect some challenges that will come your way when you are practicing your career. I don't think we'll have much time for the video, but I will share with the management so they can share with you some videos about personal data protection. Then I'll have my conclusion. Well, let's take off. PDPA, that's Personal Data Protection Act, number 11 of 2022, and the protocol of the Tanzania law was enacted in November 2022 and assented in December 2022 when the President of the United Republic of Tanzania assented to it and signed it to be a law. And the PDPC, the Personal Data Protection Commission, was established on May 1st, 2023. But it still has some times to be in operation, and then we were inaugurated on the 1st of April 2024. We haven't yet even have a recipe, and next month we will be in a position to celebrate our first year in office. We have a meeting for values and motto, and since we'll leave you with this presentation, I'm not going to very much on this slide, but I will say our vision is to have a society where personal data is protected, used to fairly but ethical. And our mission is to protect personal data by promoting and enforcing the data protection legislation. We have core values that we believe by them. We believe in integrity, we are very transparent, we cooperate as we are here. We are very adaptable to any circumstance related to the personal data protection. We are very adaptable and very earnest. Since our establishment, a number of institutions should have been registered by us, some haven't. And we should have started maybe compliance and enforcement. But being fair, we wanted us to educate institutions, individuals who are the data subject. So by the time we come to enforce, they will be in a better position to say, you must have known and heard about us. Then we can take some action. We have a number of meetings I will speak about it only here, which will be relevant to this audience. We supervise the implementation of the personal data protection as an independent government agency, but we take complaints. Somebody comes in here and he has issues, maybe his personal data has been breached. Then we receive complaints, we process them, and we issue determination. And our determination can come in terms of informed of either a fine or a compensation. And this compensation we are not talking about 10 million or it would be even bigger than that. So this is something that all of us here need to know that data protection is something very serious. But we also do research on the technology or the upcoming and the development of technology to make sure data protection is not compromised when we use this technology. Like when you do, I heard sometimes, I think it was in Zimbabwe, there was a laboratory that was connected to the internet, and the result of that laboratory goes somewhere where there are doctors who can do because in Zimbabwe they are not there. So all the data were being transferred outside, and somebody has access without the knowledge, even all the institutions and the individuals who work there. So you can imagine how difficult it is today's technological advancement, kuna kitu tunaita teknolojia zinazoibukia. There are apps that can put on my blood pressure check every day. Sometimes I'm not living in Tanzania, but if my phone is in Tanzania, I go on the running in the morning and my phone will be receiving all my health information. And this is dangerous in the future as we do personal data protection. So what is personal data? Personal data means data about an identifiable person that is recorded in any form. This could be a name, a son, a home address, data related to their education, medical, criminal, or employment history. But also could be an identification card number, like the leader, national identification number, voter registration, or even your driver's license. There are issues related to location data, for example, the location where a mobile phone is, which exactly is where you are. So somebody can detect and find out where you are just by following up or hacking your mobile phone. But we have issues like data relating to race, national or ethnic origin, religion, age, marital status of our individual. These also are very personal data. This kind of data we call them the normal personal data, but we have sensitive data which some of you maybe have started to collect and have started to practice, and which need more attention, and we call this sensitive data. Sensitive data can be any genetic data from a DNA analysis, blood group, you will be knowing people's blood group, and sometimes when there is a patient looking for blood, and if you are not ethical, you can tell, or you can go and take a consider movies, when people they don't really have a kidney which is can be used to somebody, then that person can even be involved in an accident which is accident, so that the kidney can be obtained. So you know what kind of information you are going to hold with the analysis of the DNA of the person. We have financial transaction of an individual. We have gone digital. We are experiencing and we are practicing digital economy. If I ask you when last if you went to your bank, I'm sure you will tell me you don't recall. Because your phone is your bank, is your transactional device that you pay to maybe a fine or a compensation which may erode most of your funding that you are collecting, and then you will suffer the financial cost. Lack of autonomy, operational disruption, leading to regulatory consequences are also some of the data harm. There are a lot of challenges that we are going through while implementing the Data Protection Act. We have limited resources. There's a need for paradigm shift. And if I talk about the paradigm shift, we will cover the rest of the challenges. Paradigm shift, why? We used to be very lenient when we go places. You've heard one of our examples that when we go to a guest house or a hotel, you find those rooms with the names that the format of the form was designed before even independence. There were some who wanted to know who is coming to these houses because maybe they are coming to organize a crime or what. So they wanted to know your name, your father's name, because your father might have committed an offense. They would want to know your tribe, because they believe some tribes were problematic. But they want to know where you come from and where are you going. When you live here, where are you going? So this personal information were recorded actually for the interest of that particular tribe. But today, with the technological advancements and the convergence of technology, we don't need that information. What is your mobile number doing in that hotel room you stay? And the next day you get a message that send that money for this number because they have collected your information. They are data miners. They mine your data so they can use it to benefit themselves. So we need to change our thinking, our behavior, the way we used to live. You go to a hotel, you give only the information they need. Give them your identity, the national identity or the local identity. There is a name there, there is a number of that identity. It's enough. You give your email, and then you get finally, soon you get solicited emails and messages. So we need to protect that. So please, if you go anywhere, even in the hospital now, we ask, we tell people to ask. Why do you need my mother's medical condition of the one to establish the president? Ask, where do you send this information so you know for sure? First, they understand. Hospitals, we know they understand the protection of the patient, but sometimes the individuals working in those places which are not ethical. Regulatory medicine, we have different laws in Tanzania. In every sector there are laws, but there is the law of data protection, and then we are not here to change the information that, or the laws that have been in place. Right? Your laws, your regulation, we respect, but we insist on making sure also you practice and we understand the rest of data protection issues. Data security risk, like I may ask, the Vice Chancellor, where are your students' personal data information being kept? Is the same as it? Do you have a vendors that can make sure nobody sector and get the information? We have third-party risk. We have like oil companies and the banks. They have vendors who work for them, but they compromise the data that they collect. Quickly, I will speak about how we are going through this challenge, training and awareness as we are doing here, resource optimization. As a university, you have some maybe like inviting us to speak here, stakeholder engagement, cybersecurity, and vendor management. Before I conclude, I'll talk a little bit on the consent management. Data need to be obtained by consent. A student coming here and has to understand why this data is being collected, how is it being recorded, and how the university maybe will manage the consent. But also, the University of Mwanza need to enforce the consent to make sure all the information are taken care of. PDPC and yourself may be audits and compliance the consent that we have recorded to make sure they are in accordance with the law. Updating and renewing consent, like life changes. You were sometimes a niece, you get married, now you are a niece, you are still at the university, you have an obligation and the right to come and tell the university, please change my name now from a niece to a niece. Of course, we want the right information to be held by the university. But also consent exploration, if the student has completed the studies, there are laws that they want you to keep their records for a particular time. But there are others like with the bank, and after 10 years, they don't need to still have my information. I can ask them if there is no another law that doesn't allow them to delete my information, then I'll ask them to destroy my. This one I'm not going to talk about it because in a way it implied it in my previous slide. Even this one, data protection supports the digital economy. I've spoken about how we have come from having the books that they write into your thinking. I'm sure Professor had that small book that they told me today you have come with the drone. Certain amount of money and the balance is this. Can you imagine now if we have that situation? It's the mobile phone. So that the digital economy is supported by data protection and discipline, trust, like we order stuff now from shops, you order something from abroad, and it comes home and the order will bring it where you are sitting in your living room. The videos, I said I won't be sharing them now, but I will say in conclusion that the implementation of personal data protection in Tanzania marks a significant step towards safeguarding individual privacy rights in the digital age. While challenges remain, the framework set by the PDPA provided a solid foundation for building a secure and trustworthy environment for personal data collection and processing in Tanzania. Continuing with public education as we are doing it here, we add value to our personal data protection and the implementation of the law, as I said. And in the end, ultimately, robust data protection measures will contribute to Tanzania's digital economy and its integration into the global digital landscape. Thank you very much. I won't mind you if we clap.
So part two is all about the commission, the leadership, the board, and how it will be governed. Part three talks of how we are going to be registering this data controllers and data processing. Part four talks about how are we going to be implementing the principles of data protection. Now this is putting the principles into practice. How do we collect? How are we going to be processing? How are we going to be using them? How are you going to do detection? So these are instructions to data controllers and data processors who will register. But part 5 talks about if you want to transport personal data out of the country, what should you do? That will provide powers. So it should require for public through filling a special form number 7, that is very according to the Act. But the big thing that we do in this part is we try to check. You are sending the data with certificate. This company that I said to you, do they have safeguards? Do they have measures to protect the data? But you have agreement among yourselves. Are there adequate mechanisms in that country that the data you're sending, that the person who owns the data, the data server, that's us always, do they know that the data is going there for one reason? So upon doing the data protection assessment and confirming that this data, if it goes into the state, then we provide powers. But 6 talks about the right of data service, which I will talk a bit more. Part 7 is about the procedures of doing complaints. So, as we have a duty of receiving complaints, whenever your personal data, wherever, is violated, or you feel that it is not well used, you can complain to the Personal Data Commission. If you don't know how to go about it, we will help you as the attorneys to that. Part 8 talks about the financial provisions, which are just generic in each law establishing institutions. But Part 9 talks about miscellaneous provisions. This is where there are exceptional circumstances. For example, the issues of national security, issues of public interest, issues that are very well guided by the other practices, for example, the medical industry. So there are some things which are exempted because we understand that the work government sector laws. So they are exempted by this law. Yeah, so there are 2 regulations. The first regulation, it shows how or what are the procedures for registering. How are we going to consider applications that people are registering. But it also talks about how are you going to request for the public to transfer data outside the country. And the second regulation is how are we going to handle the complaints once you bring them. There's a procedure that I will also quickly explain to you. What we do in that procedure. So there are 8 principles. The first one is when the data is collected, it should be lawful, it should be fair, and transparent. You should always have a mandate to collect the data. So you don't go like you are an institution of health. You are supposed to be collecting data related to health. You don't collect data related to finance because you are not mandated to collect data related to finance. But it should also be fair and transparent. The data service should know which data are you collecting, why are you collecting the data you are collecting, and who will you be sharing the data with and for what reason. The second one is purpose limitation. It should always be inclined to the purpose that the mandate is given to that organization. But issue of data minimization or adequacy, only get the information that is related to the business process that you're doing. Nothing more, nothing less. But it should always be accurate and up-to-date. And this is very critical, for example, for any institution like yours. You know that it could damage your reputation. If people know that the results are being altered every time, so the reputation of the organization becomes compromised. So it is important to make sure you have ways of ensuring that the data is always accurate and up-to-date. Like historical orientation, this is where you are supposed to retain data according to the sector laws. For example, the finance law, it has its period storage. But likewise for the tax laws, for the legal laws, for the medical health laws, it has a certain time of retention. So they are required to adhere to the time according to the sector laws. But there are also the right of the data subject, as all of us, when we get service at a point in time, we need to adhere to our rights, and we need to know our rights so that we can practice them. But security says this, of the data. You know, once your data is collected, you have no control of it. It's under the auspices of the data controller or data processor. So they have an obligation of ensuring that it is always kept safe. That's why when we complain that the data has gone to the wrong hands, we can penalize them because they have the obligation of ensuring its safety. But the last one is transport data flow, whereby any data or any personal data that will be transported outside the country should always get a permit from the Data Protection Commission, because there are some things that we need to verify. Quickly going through our laws, though Mr. Mungi did it very well. We register data controllers and data processors. We advise data scientists, but we also advise the data controllers and processors on compliance needs. We are innovators, so we do research, but this is where also we can partner with you guys and other research institutions, research on usage of data. So specifically, for example, you're doing medicine, we could do research on medical data and medical records, and we innovate and have solutions on protecting the data. That we approve. We approve data protection policies, we approve the compliance reports, we approve the permits to transport data outside the country. But we are observers. Sometimes the data may be misused without our knowledge. So we have the obligation of observing and informing whenever there's something awkward happening, which may not be in your understanding or in your comprehension. That we are also enforcing. When we bring a complaint about violations of personal data, then we do investigation and we enforce accordingly. So quickly going through the rights of the data subject. Number one, we have the right to access the personal data. You need to know what data does that person collected have about you. But you can prevent processing of the data subject looking at an avenue whereby you may feel that this may affect the rights of my personality. For example, let's say you are processing for a law, but later you feel, no, this will damage my reputation among another. So you have the right to prevent them from continuing with the process, and they should also erase the fact that they are processing it. But you have the right to prevent processing of personal data through direct marketing. And that's why we said that if your picture is being used, let's say, in an advertisement, and you don't have the consent, you don't have the knowledge, you have no agreement, there's no way that you are asked, then you can complain to the commission and we will work on it, because they're supposed to have an agreement or they're supposed to have your consent prior. But you have the right in relation to automated decision making, because some systems are very complex, and it's not a manual, it's a system to make the processing. So you have the right to know what are the criteria to use, so that even when they make a decision and you feel it's not right, based on the criteria they told you, then you can complain. But you have the right to compensation. Whenever your personal has been misused or your rights have been violated in any way, you have the right to seek or ask for compensation. And the Commission is there to support you. But you have a right for rectification, logging, erasure, and destruction of personal data, taking into account all the existing laws that are in place. quickly, if you submit your complaint to the Commission, what we'll do, first of all, we will receive your complaint, and then we will take 7 days to check the magnitude of the complaint. We will try to assess if it is related to the law or the personal data violation, then we will move the next step. But if it is not related to personal data, maybe it is related to cyber crimes or electronic transactions or any other existing law, then we will advise the complaint. We will tell you that for you to get relief quickly and in the best way, we would rather go through this complaint, but not through the Personal Data Protection Act. So if we have verified that this one falls under the auspices of Personal Data Protection Act, we will give the complainant, the person you are complaining against, the respondent, the person that you are complaining against. Maybe it is like L or like Michelle Beck, for example. We will give them 21 days to prepare their defense against your submitted complaint. After 21 days, even if they don't bring, we will proceed. So if they bring their evidence or their defense, we will do investigation, try to verify if their defense is admissible or if it makes sense. After that, we will call you, the complainant, and the respondent together and make a hearing. So the Commission will appoint a special committee to hear the case. After hearing of the case, we will provide an award, we will make a decision. And the decision will be up, but for any of the side, either of the side, the complainant or the respondent, the one who is not satisfied will have 14 days after the decision or after the award has been given to make an application for review. So if the application for review is made, we will appoint a separate hearing committee. All of the hearing committee members who were in the first committee will not be present in the second committee. But again, still, the either of the side may not be again satisfied with the outcomes of that second committee. So they have 14 days after the results of the review to appeal. And after that, last appeal, then it will be moved to the court. Now this one will be against the person or the party which appealed against the Commission. We will move the case to the court. So that is how we are handling the complaints that we submit to us. So quickly, talking about the future of data protection. Number one, we see that data protection law is broadening. Number two, we will see future. For now, there are some services which are outsourced. For example, customer care, customer support, they are outsourced. So because of how demanding the data protection law is, it will also be outsourced as a service like other services. But the need to adopt not standard compliance rules because of the technology transfer, technology development, to change, there will be a big need of applying not standard compliance. You don't play by a single rule. You have to mix the rules so that you can accommodate existing situation. But there is a big rise of national data protection regulations. As you know, yes, you're studying here maybe in Tanzania, but at some point probably you will work in an international environment. So by being conversant with the data protection, you'll be comfortable whichever country you go in the globe. But there is also the need for a people-centered approach to data management. So whichever plan you do, whichever design you do, whatever you are planning or whatever you're developing, you should always have a people-centered approach. Try to think of the people, how would they feel? Try to think of the clients. Try to accommodate this aspect in everything that you do. That is the demand for the coming near future. Then to my conclusion, data controllers and data processors have to partner with the Commission to address the challenges together. But also the DPOs. You know, according to the law, every entity which is a data controller or data processor is supposed to appoint a data protection officer who is the liaison officer with PDPC at the specific entity. So it is very critical that BPOs become vigilant and always ahead of the game. Solution providers to invest in providing data protection and products and services that academia, like you, training providers, to introduce up-to-date training programs on privacy and protection. So we introduce the model, we introduce the subject, but something that is related to the privacy and protection, because in the near future we will see demand increase, disregard which sector you are. Now we are the health sector, but in the near future you also need to accommodate this. It could be electrical, but it could also be subject. However, you are making it according to the curriculum and what is possible for your end. And it's important for the people and the community and the students to have good understanding of privacy and data protection. So having said that, I'd like to conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope I will take
Mwanza University, training for the world.